Hello, everyone. So, what was I trying to do with my mask on? Did you all just see that huge smile that I had on my face? Probably not. A smile is the most contagious greeting, and it's said that you smile and the world smiles back at you. But with the mask on, my smile was just not visible, right? Most of you will agree with me that when we are with our mask on, it's very difficult for us to understand, the facial expressions of the person behind the mask. Unlock one has got us into this partial movement zone, and we are getting back to our workplace, moving towards this new normal. And we have many questions in our mind. Even I have many questions as with regards to business etiquettes, grooming, greetings, and much more. We wish to help you get back to business with full enthusiasm and a very, very positive outlook, because our business is going to play an important part in keeping us healthy and happy. So let's learn these new norms of business etiquettes to assist us towards the new normal and making us more confident for our business greetings, for dressing appropriately and grooming, enhancing our looks, and more. I am Dr. Bhavi Modi from Vriddhi Holistic Healthcare, and I am an health evangelist and a person who believes that small changes makes a huge difference in everybody's health. And hence we have started this series of FB lives to make you aware and groom you to the new normal. So today we are having a panel discussion on unmask your image and etiquette. With the lockdown being lifted, it's very, very important that we really wear a mask, because that's the necessity. SMS is what we still have to follow. S stands for sanitize, M stands for mask, and S stands for social distancing. So while we are wearing our mask, maintaining a certain image is equally important, and the need to impress and presentable in our social circle, professional life is always there. So let's hear it from our experts how the trends will change and what should we be focusing on when we talk all about image and etiquette during this partial lockdown. Our first panelist is Rashida Kapadia. Rashida is an etiquette expert and a wardrobe stylist and a relationship coach, corporate trainer with a rich experience of 17 years. Can we have Rashida? Rashida, can you hear me? Yeah, so here we have Rashida with us. Hi, Rashida.
Hi, Dr. Bhavi. How are you? Nice to hear you.
Good. Yes, same here. And welcome to the panel. Our viewers are, just waiting to hear more from you. So if in a sentence or two, you could introduce yourself.
Hi, this is Rashida Kapadia, an image consultant with an experience of 17 years. I have worked with, thousands of individuals and all the top corporate companies in India, and help them to groom themselves, to look better, to feel more confident, to enhance their communication skills and their behavioral skills.
Super awesome.
Yes. Tell me.
So we'll just get all the panelists on board and then we'll start with our discussion. Our next panelist is Neha Suradkar, makeup and nail artist and educator. Neha is a makeup and nail artist and trainer, certified coach, fashion educator, and grooming consultant, specializing in personal styling and makeup with experience of more than a decade. I personally know Neha to such an extent that she's, currently changed her canvas from the nails and face to paper, and she's doing a fabulous job there too. So welcome, Neha, on the panel. And if you would like to add a little more to your introduction, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhavi. It is great to be on this panel. And working on the new normal is what we are trying to do. So basically, I'm a makeup and nail artist and into fashion education also. I'm a style consultant. So looking forward to this amazing discussion on, how to unmask your image and etiquette.
Perfect. So we have with us Rakhi Gupta, a trained image consultant from India, international etiquette consultant from UK. Rakhi helps groom individual for a smart personality and lasting good looks. Rakhi conducts programs on corporate etiquette, finishing programs for adults as well as programs for teenagers and children. So Rakhi, I've known you for such a long time and I know the fabulous work that you do. So, would you like to add anything to your introduction before we get started with the panel?
Normally, people think etiquette is all about being snobbish. I feel it's more about being real and being nice as a person. And I always introduce myself as someone who helps people become better versions of themselves through appropriate dressing, body language, and manners. So I think that kind of explains it all. Thank you.
So yes, it's such a pleasure to have all the three of you on the panel here. And I'm sure you guys also saw me wearing the mask. And, it's so kind of difficult at times to actually project what you are in terms of your image or your etiquette. And, so many questions in our heads and our viewers' heads, I'm sure. So as we go ahead, we are going to be taking questions from the audience too. But my first question to all of you is tips on wearing a mask and making a statement with it. With all brands, actually, I was surfing the net, trying to see that, this white mask and the green mask was so boring. So I really felt, nahi, ye nahi pehen sakte, kuch aur chahiye. So I was just browsing and I literally found each and every brand has come up with a mask. So we have so many masks. So what do you feel? Can it make a statement as it will be part of our attire for a long time to come? Because we know that COVID is here to stay for some time at least. It's not going away so soon. So we are all going to be with our masks. So how are we going to make that statement? So Rakhi, if you would like to go first, and then maybe we have Rashida and then Neha go in that order, so that, yeah.
Okay. I personally believe making a statement, I'm not very sure about. If you are going out for work, for business, it's better you use, one of those typical standard, what we call, which goes with everything, kind of a simple mask, a solid color. Please, all those funny prints and all those designs which scream out for attention are not for the business field. But yes, if you're going out on a personal level, I'm sure Rashida and Neha would agree with me, then you can let them express your personality, because after all, they are an accessory here to stay now. So you can actually have one of them which has a cartoon character or something that screams in terms of colors or whatever.
Right. Yeah, so Rakhi, I agree with you. And, the sunglasses and the hats, initially when they were introduced, they were actually to protect you from the sun. And then they became accessories, and now they make a statement. So your sunglasses, your hats, they are all statement pieces which you have in your wardrobe. Similarly, masks are here to stay. I don't know for how many years, probably another 2 years, I think we'll be wearing masks. And of course, since people can't see your face and your lipstick and your lovely cheekbones, they're going to look at your mask. So you're actually hiding your face, but behind the, but your mask will be very easily visible to people. And I think if you want to make a statement, you need to wear masks that you can coordinate with your clothing, because as it's an accessory, as you said, it's become an accessory now. So you can coordinate the colors. One is that you can coordinate and complement the colors. Or, you can do, if you're wearing solid colors, then you can wear a printed mask, but provided it has some color of the outfit in it. If you're going print on print, then you need to see that at least the background color of the, your outfit and the mask is similar, even if the print is different. Or the print can vary in sizes. So if your outfit has larger prints, your mask can have smaller prints. Or you can stripes and polka dots, those work. Or you do animal print, that would be versatile. So of course you can play a lot with your mask, and I don't know how your corporate, the place where you work, how liberal they are and how much the leeway they would give you for wearing these kind of masks. But if you're in a creative field, why not? Go ahead and enjoy wearing all the different types of masks. I'm sure we should take this also in our stride and make the most of it.
True, very true. Yes,
Right,
Neha.
right. So agree with Rashida and Rakhi both, and you all have covered most of the points that we would like to talk about as for mask as a statement. The only thing, like what I'm observing right now is as part of Asian culture, like especially Japan and China, mask is part of their lifestyle. Even if you have a little bit of flu, they would be wearing mask. And I've been staying I've stayed in those countries, so I've seen people with mask all the time. Whereas in Western culture, mask has always been, something with a negative connotation that you want to hide something, and that's why you are wearing a mask. So I think that perception will now change. We are not trying to hide something. We are trying to be safe and, make others safe too by wearing mask. Making a statement, of course, like coordinating with your outfit. And already we have seen, as a wedding makeup artist, I've already seen brides wearing mask as per their wedding outfit. So अभी मतलब टेलर को बोलना होगा कि आप भैया कपड़ा बच जाए तो मास्क बना के देना. So that is how things will work out.
Neha, kapda bache nahi, it's part of the outfit now.
Yes, yes. I know. So another meme that I was, I saw on the internet was कि भैया mask दिखाओ. तो he was asking, the shopkeeper asked कि कैसा चाहिए, party wear चाहिए या casual चाहिए. So, we are already getting in that phase where mask is becoming an important accessory. So, I guess for however long it is here to stay, it will be making a statement. The only thing I would say that, making sure that the fabric that you're using is a breathable fabric. All our Gucci's and Louis Vuitton cannot be coming up with a leather mask.
Absolutely. True. I completely agree with that point, that at the end of the day, the mask has to serve the purpose for which we are going to be wearing it, in terms of maybe comfort, breathability, because if you're not going to be able to breathe, it's of no use to you just, wearing a mask. And yes, like Rashida was mentioning, when we had a chat with our friends and, we were discussing, and she actually told me that there is a mask wherein there is embroidery and Jardozi work already in place. So bridal masks have already, you have started working on it.
Yes.
जो भी mask बना हुआ ठीक है, लेकिन इतना we have to remember that it has to be a 3-layered mask. This is a medical advice and not a fashion statement. लेकिन fashionable mask, at least we got to see that it's going to be safe for us to use. So if we ensure that, I think mask is here to stay for long and sure to make a statement like all you guys mentioned. So that's the first point about mask that we all wanted to discuss. And the second thing, what I want to know from Rakhi and you, Rashida, is that, we would be having more of online meetings, because social distancing is the new normal now. So with us not going to be able to meet people face to face, we are going to go the online route, right? So most of us have been doing these Zoom meetups or Google meetups for most of the time that the lockdown was there. And even with the partial lockdown and things opening up a little, we would still prefer that, unless and until necessary, we are not face to face, unless it's absolutely necessary. So what do you people feel that what are going to be the etiquettes for an online meeting? Because that's very, very important, because the other day I was attending a webinar and I saw somebody with a soup bowl and a soup spoon and, just drinking the soup. And I was like, what the hell did just happen? Like, so
I would love to tell you, I have actually done workshops online on online meeting etiquettes. So that is something which I really believe not just us as a country or a community, but the world needs to learn. Because of having done my etiquette certification from the UK, I am constantly in touch with etiquette consultants worldwide. Or we have a little group where we keep sharing information. And there have been the most unusual cases you can hear of happening. People, I'm sure Rashida will agree that people normally, when they come for a Zoom meeting or for a video call, they always concentrate, only on the top half. Why even Priyanka Chopra posted, an Insta picture of herself with just a proper top, and the bottoms were something else. But there are so many cases where you suddenly have to stand up and you are gone. So the first thing I believe is dressing up for it. And honestly, I'm a person who even wears my shoes properly. You will not find me in flip-flops for my video calls, for the simple reason it gets you in that mindset. I am totally there at work when I am dressed for it. So you change out of that entire zone if you dress for it. Your body language changes, the way you communicate changes. There are enough bloopers of people standing up and suddenly showing off that they are wearing pajamas or shorts. But honestly, Bhavi, if you want online etiquette, it's going to be a long session. So I think Rashida and I can take turns at going on with the points, because one of us.
If you could just give us some important pointers, which would be like really helpful for people who've just started out or just started doing these. So at least we don't have major, major mistakes or happening. At least we are decently placed somewhere when it comes to the online meetings that we are doing.
Okay, the first.
Yes, I've seen. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's all right.
Please, Rakhi, finish yours, then I'll start.
Okay. The first and foremost thing I always tell people is always have your video on. You cannot have your video off. If you need to leave to answer nature's call for some reason, please tell the people that, excuse me for a minute, and don't leave an empty chair. Please, stop your camera for that many seconds or minute or whatever. Rush and come back. Second, as we discussed, keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking. Do not interrupt. Rashida, I'll go on. Please, you take over now.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. You need to be on time. The first and foremost is, if you have a meeting, please be on time. It's like going for a regular meeting. Dress appropriately. Don't eat on camera. The story you told us. Always have a glass of water on hand in case you feel thirsty. Always have a pad and pen on hand in case you need to write anything. Always, give the other person a chance to speak. I've been trying to give Rashida that opportunity. She keeps sending it back to me. She's letting me take over. Then don't interrupt anyone. Don't fidget, because actually if you fidget too much, people can see it. It's a very thin line, because you have to be expressive. You can't be sitting in one position and talking, because it becomes very monotonous otherwise. So your voice needs to have the variation while you're doing it. But at the same time, you cannot fidget. Again, if you want to say something like I suggested earlier, you raise your hand so people take note and give you that opportunity to speak. Don't get onto the chat box and keep commenting in the chat box, because it distracts the others. If you want to say something to someone privately, put it in the chat box. Rashida, I think it's time you take over. I'm breathless.
Okay. So I just wanted to add, I've seen some people propped up on pillows and talking. That is one thing which is a no-no. Of course, you did mention that no eating, and you can have a glass of water or maybe a cup of tea or coffee. Also, if you want to leave the meeting, I think ideally you shouldn't leave the meeting midway. But if you have to, because you have another meeting to go to, then inform the person who has hosted the meeting personally on chat, and then you can leave the meeting. And before leaving the meeting, it's important to thank the host, which is one basic etiquette that most people forget to do. They just leave the meeting. I've seen many people do that. They just walk out of the meeting without thanking the host, and and the host is still there, and people are just walking out of the meeting. So that is, I consider that very rude. Other than that, your backdrop also has to be good. Sometimes the backdrop, I've seen one lady with, in a gown. She was in her gown, and in her nightgown, her children were walking around, and there was a lot of noise behind. You could see the bathroom door open. So all this creates a very wrong impression about you, about the meticulousness of your home. So it reflects on your personality. The more meticulous you are, the better your personality. Very important to take care of these small nuances about the backdrop. You yourself, of course, you have to be well dressed. Put on your makeup. This is the only time you get to put on your lips to do it, because otherwise you're with your mask. Yes, these I think are the most important.
I'd like to add again. I'm back. Don't always have your phone on silent. Please do not let your phone ring in the middle of a meeting. And like Rashida mentioned, if you have to go for another meeting, please ensure you have informed your host beforehand that you would like to leave at a such and such time. As far as possible, wear headphones because it eliminates the outside noises. If you're in a good soundproof room, it's perfect. Then you don't need your headphones. So these are a few more things which happen. At the same time, I would like to say it is not as formal in certain cases, because we have to accept that there are times when people in our country especially have no help. We are so used to help in our lives. So there is this, I'm sure everybody knows about this South Korean correspondent of the BBC whose kids walked in during a meeting, during one of those interviews on BBC that he was doing. And then his wife literally came in and snatched the kids out. So that was a really famous case that happened. But this was, of course, before lockdown, in regular times. But now, again, there have been so many cases. There was a very cute case, I would love to mention this, of a man who was sitting in a meeting. And while the meeting was happening, his little 4-year-old daughter came and told him that, please, may I interrupt you? So he spoke to the person he was talking to very politely and said, we are teaching her manners right now. And she has interrupted me absolutely correctly, using the right language and manners. So please, may I listen to her? So, of course, the other person understood. And this man turned to talk to his daughter. And his daughter pointed out to him, to the other sister, who was just about 2 years old, and said, oh, she is loading herself into the dishwasher. And the 2-year-old had actually loaded herself into the dishwasher. This man had no option but to literally go away, excuse himself, and attend to his child. So we also have to be considerate to give that leeway to people right now.
Absolutely.
Very true, Rakhi. I mean, the story was like, you really have to be considerate as well, It's not because you're at home, and certain times you really have to take care of too many things because you're working for home and from home. So these, and as you rightly mentioned, we are all not so used to doing so much of, household work. So there are times when a few things, go a little haywire. I definitely agree to you. And so as we were talking of masks and the business etiquettes and, how you present yourself, my question next is going to be to Neha. Neha, since we are going to be covering ourselves with a mask, there's hardly anything that's going to be visible of our face, right? So, I generally, if I have to apply makeup, I only paint my lips. So it's most of the times only a lipstick that I have. तो अभी तो ये भी चले जाएगा, तो how is it that what part of your face am I going to highlight now so that even with the mask there is something that you look good, or you feel that अच्छा नहीं, थोड़ा अच्छा दिख रहा है, तो क्या ऐसा हम कर सकते हैं कि हम थोड़े अच्छे दिखे with the mask and no lipstick, of course. लिपस्टिक है भी तो वो मास्क के पीछे चली जाएगी या तो मास्क पे लग जाएगी, and the mask will have a beautiful lip mark. That's all that's going to happen with the lipstick.
Yes, Dr. Bhavi. So, abhi, in India, so when we talk about makeup, it's just lipstick and kajal for most of the Indian women.
Yes,
so now I think kajal plus the mascara and your under eye concealer will play a more important role than a lipstick. So people will have to now move away from lipstick. Ki lipstick to abhi dikhega nahi. So let's try new things. So I guess here kajal we are already using like extensively. Most of the people, if you meet, they will tell you that we look dead without kajal. So now the importance will be given more to eye makeup. And in makeup, where we talk about, there is an eye team and there is a lip team, people who love to dress up their eyes and people who love to do their lips. So now eye team will have an upper hand. You can all have your smoky eyes and you can have your nice winged liners and mascara. I think mascara is something which is going to make a huge comeback and which is my favorite makeup product also. So it will just, open up your eyes and take attention to your eyes basically. So I'm really looking forward to the eye makeup coming into picture now.
Wow. So we have a question
but I loved how she said team eye and team lips. I love that.
Very true. So I better start training with her, yes, because I will have to become an eye person now and not a lip person. So I'll have to start doing all that. So Neha, here we have Urna Nayak asking us, yeah, Neha, please suggest some funky eye makeup.
Yeah, so funky is, so what I suggest people is that if you are not used to trying out eye makeup, go on for something simple. Start with a single eyeshadow probably, or a single eyeliner of a different color. So, if you are more of a black or brown person, go and try out a turquoise, or go try out a teal or a blue. That looks very pretty on Indian eyes. And these are the colors which all of us can use. Yeah. And irrespective of our skin color or the eye color, so these are the colors that we can start experimenting with, like a green, a peacock green, emerald green. These are very pretty colors for Indian tones. So try on with that. Just put one single nude eyeshadow and draw a nice liner with a colored liner. That is the first step getting into creative makeup. After that, once you are comfortable, then you can start blending two colors. So again, that's a next level. So we can one-on-one training will be better depending on your eye shape and your expertise with makeup blending. We can discuss, but to start with, at least everybody can start using a colored liner now.
So agree with you. Match eye pencil with mask is what she's saying, and I feel she makes a little sense there. I think ऐसा है कि there's this song which says आँखों ही आँखों में इशारा हो गया.
बस अभी तो आँखों से ही होगा.
So सब आँखों से ही होने वाला है. So we better highlight our eyes, as you rightly mentioned, that eye is something that's going to catch your attention, and probably you might communicate with your eyes too, because we are going to be with a mask, and we lay a lot of emphasis on verbal communication, and facial expressions for that matter. But with the mask, the facial expressions are not going to be visible. So, how do you judge what the person wants to say? Or, how does one take a cue? Sometimes, it's from the facial expression that you take a cue whether the person wants to really hear you out, or should you stop there? Or, how do you go about, like, ab kaise karenge? What is it going to be? Yeah, if I want to show a displeasure without my face, how am I going to show it if I have to do that? So it's both ways, whether you take a cue or whether you want to give a cue. How are you going to do that?
So I think all the emojis that we have now will come into picture, rolling our eyes and winking and, whatever you can do with your eyes, we smile with your eyes. I think now we'll be using our emojis, and plus obviously hand gestures will be more important now. So I would say, maintain your nails as well for that.
That's wonderful. So Rakhi, would you like to add something to it?
I totally agree with her. But the whole point is, when you're on video conference, your face is seen. So the mask is going to come into play only when you're out in the world, actually. Right. Yes. At that point of time, your entire body takes precedence now. I mean, it's not just your face, the way you tilt your head, the way you square your shoulders, or you bring in your hands, the posture you adopt. All these things are actually going to take precedence. And of course, Neha, a well-groomed pair of hands are going to really be out there for everyone to observe and see. That really makes a difference. I totally agree with that one.
Rashida, would you like to add on something?
Yes, so your eyebrows are also going to speak a lot. I have seen that now, when I'm talking to people and they're wearing their mask. So the question, when they ask you a question, they're lifting their eyebrows. If they like you, there'll be a slight eyebrow flash, the eyebrow will be lifted slightly, and you know that they're interested in you or they like you. If they are furrowed together, that means they're irritated, they're angry. So I've seen all these looks happening because I'm a keen observer of body language. And now if we start learning all this, we start observing people, we will be able to understand them much better, because the lips and the cheeks and those expressions will not be visible. So talking with the eyes and the eyebrows will be the easiest and the best way to communicate. Of course, you will be able to see the smile in the eyes. I think we should start practicing smiling with our eyes, because they won't be able to see your actual smile. But when you smile with your eyes, they can see that you are smiling and they will smile back at you. So there was a joke today on WhatsApp which said that, hey, I'm smiling, but the person didn't smile back at me. Then I realized I was wearing a mask. So that's what happens. Yeah. And of course, the way you walk with your body language, again, your clothes will play a very important role when you walk into a room, because they can't see your face. So most of us are usually attracted by another person's face. That is what makes us talk to them or communicate with them or get friendly with them. But now, since we can't see their faces, we will be looking at their body language, whether they are open to communication, their arms, how folded, in what way they are folded, whether they are open arms. All that we will be observing, and accordingly, the connect will be made or it won't be made, or a first impression will be created or not. So these are the things now I think we'll have to fine tune in order to make an impression on people or get connected to more and more people.
So I guess, it's time to learn about image and etiquette. This is the right time. And if we have not yet done it, there is not going to be any better time than learning this, So I think you guys have to start actually training more and more people with this, because not everyone is aware as to what is the open body posture or what is closed hands. Sometimes you don't even mean it, but you do it unknowingly, maybe. Not sure. Yes. Yeah, so it does happen that way. So 5 etiquette tips for the new normal that you both would want to share. Rashida, if you want to go first, please.
Okay, so 5 etiquette tips. One is that, most important, I think, is that, you need to maintain social distancing, because many people I have seen, this is what actually happened, and these are real life tips which I'm sharing with you. When I've gone out to the bank or to any store, there are people who walk in and they don't stand in queue, they don't maintain the social distance. And every time to keep telling people to do it, it's not nice. I feel, it's rude. And the best thing is to avoid talking as much as possible, because you're sending out all your, your saliva into the air and causing more viruses to get out into the environment. So the best thing is to maintain that without people having to tell you. Maintain your social distance, wear your mask properly. So the mask as it is, it's going to make a style statement. Don't remove it at all unless you're at home. Keep it on without wearing it below your nose or on your chin. That's most important. Another thing is don't start arguing with people or complaining about people, because everybody is new to these new rules of and norms that have to be followed now. So the most important social behavior any which ways is patience and poise, calm and composure. Composure is what we need to maintain at all times in any situation. So talk to people nicely, make them understand that this is the need of the hour without shouting, losing your mind or screaming at people. I think it's important that we talk in a nice way, make them understand why you're telling them to do a certain thing, and that would work really well. So that would not also create any conflicts and any misunderstandings. The other thing would be to dispose of whatever you have used correctly, because everything will be carrying viruses. Your hand gloves, wash your mask if you're disposing your mask, or any paper bags or products that you have purchased, and the cartons or the boxes, because how many people have touched it, we don't know. So disposing of your garbage in the right way is also a very important social etiquette in order that we do not spread the germs. And of course, don't forget to dress well, because your personality will be shown and displayed through your outfits and not through your face now. So however pretty your face may be, but people will be looking more at your clothing. So do remember to dress appropriately, not only dress well, but appropriately according to the occasion, because you will be judged by that, and people will know whether to approach you, and whether you are actually dressed correctly for the occasion.
So true. So it's said that, your first impression is your last impression. So Rakhi,
Yes,
would you add a few tips
I'd like
for
to add to this. The first thing, I'm not only going to talk about your etiquette when you go out for business. I personally feel this is a time to reach out to everyone you know. So, just pick up the phone, make a call, send a text message, write an email, connect with people, work on your relationships, because you don't know when one line from you or, a little message from you is going to make someone's day. So I feel that is one of the very important things. Second, don't try to meet anyone. I have had people inviting me, oh, you sit in your car and come to my house. We'll have a cup of coffee together. It's very important to follow rules. As Rashida said, you have to actually be strict about it. Again, another thing I would say is don't judge anyone. And please be empathetic, be kind to everyone, because you don't know what the other person is going through. Let's remember, we are a privileged lot. We can afford to stay at home. We can afford to not commute by transport. We are also able to do everything for ourselves. Our lives are affected, yes, but not in a way as some other people's are. So it's very important to do that also. And again, help as much as you can. Just be as helpful as you can to people. That's very important.
I think superb takeaways, because this is new for each one of us. It's not like we faced it earlier and we have some ground rules in hand, and that this is exactly what you're supposed to do. So it's new for everyone. It's a phase where all of us are affected by it and learning so many things, maybe right, wrong. We are all learning to do it right, but sometimes maybe you go wrong somewhere. So empathy is something, Rakhi, which you mentioned, is something which is very, very essential. And Rashida also mentioned the same, that we have to be patient with people. We have to have our things in place as to, yes, we are privileged, so let's look at others in a positive. Let's spread positivity and hope is what I believe in, because when you are positive, the entire environment around you turns positive. But if you are just in that constant fear and anxiety, everything around you also turns that way. So if not anything, let's spread positivity, let's spread hope. So coming to hope, Neha, I want you to give us makeup tips to spread hope. Absolutely. And positivity, and with makeup, look beautiful, feel good. And when you feel good, automatically everything else turns good. And we know that somewhere glamming up a bit does make everybody feel good. So we want your tips on this.
Absolutely right, Dr. Bhavi. So, these are the times when we look forward to dressing up a bit, since we are not able to go out. So these are the kind of times, like, if you are attending an online meeting, or maybe like, once now the unlock 1 has started. So most of us will be getting back to work. So important thing is like the mask is there now. So with mask, how to look a little more presentable. It's not like that lipstick nahi laga sakte. That should not be the case, because you won't be in mask all the time. So since like even in the offices, the cubicles will be far away from each other. So you might be removing your mask when you are sitting at your desk and working, and wearing mask only when you are around people. So to start with, wear non-transferable makeup. So makeup, the lipsticks, the stain-proof lipstick, is the way to go now. So it won't stain your mask. Your mask will not get all the kisses from your lipstick. So wear transfer-proof lipstick. Set your makeup properly. So whatever foundation you're wearing, first make sure that you prep your face, and after that, use a setting spray to set it so that it doesn't get transferred to the mask. And if the mask is of dark color, then it can make it look dirty also. So the makeup setting has become will be a new normal with everything going on. Also, it is important to take care of your skin. With mask, most of your area will be covered. You may be sweating and your pores may get clogged. So make sure once you come back, you clean your face properly, exfoliate, and get rid of all the dirt that has accumulated on your skin during the day. Another important thing is to use non-comedogenic products, the products which don't clog your pores.
Right.
So make sure, start reading the labels of your makeup. Abhi kuch bhi laga liya will not work. So according to the new normal, we have to, work on certain new things and use products accordingly so that your skin is also not damaged.
I think you've always been advocating reading labels for makeup products. Yeah. I've always seen you do that. And that's a wonderful, wonderful tip. So, as lockdown hai, corona hai, COVID hai, sab hai, lekin seasons to are going to come and go, So right. We always had these seasonal sales and seasonal trends coming in. So what do you now feel for seasonal trends versus classic collection for the whole year? How do you guys look at it? So I want all the three of you to answer this. Whoever wants to go first.
Okay, I for one have always been one for classic. I advocate classic totally. Sorry, 2020, but spring and summer gave us a miss. we haven't had them. So yes, and I think in the last 2.5 months, of course, none of us have shopped. We couldn't even shop online. Getting our groceries and essentials was of utmost importance. Brands are opening up. They are now going online. Yes, that will be the new trend of shopping online, but I personally am not one for shopping online. I don't believe in buying things till I've tried it, which is not going to be a healthy option anymore. So yes, we will have to switch over. But since I'm always one for classics, I am not one for seasonal trends. You can always have seasonal trends to accessorize your classics is what I believe in. And that is what I always suggest to all my clients also.
Totally agree with you, Rakhi.
Because you suggest that to pretty much everyone that I know of. So yes, Rashida, would you like to share some tips?
So I'm sure the younger generation would like to wear the contemporary clothes that are available and whatever is the latest in style. Probably the older women and the older men would like to stay with the classics because we are of the mindset that we need to save and they are of the mindset that we only live once, the millennials. So they want to, of course, splurge on and look their best all the time. So to each his own. Of course, if you can, you have a good wardrobe of classic pieces, which you can, like Rakhi said, combined with contemporary accessories, then it makes sense. You add a style statement. So you end up, not spending so much on clothes because these are tough times and not everybody is making a lot of money to actually splurge. So it's better to be safe and it's better to be careful while spending. But then again, you also have clothes which you can mix and match. So even if you're want to buy some few outfits and you can create a cluster wardrobe and you can mix and match them with your different coordinates and you can create a whole new fabulous wardrobe with all that you have. So there are many ways of working towards your goal. Whichever way you see it, you want to be in with the crowd. And if you have the figure and also, so if you're going to wear a crop top, you need to have that kind of a body to flaunt it. So I always believe that whatever, even if it is in style, but if it doesn't go well with your body type, then please don't wear it. If it looks good on you, then definitely go ahead and flaunt it. So that's my take on, fashion trends versus classic cuts.
Totally agree. Body shape is so important.
Type, your resources, your age, and the place where you work.
Absolutely. Neha, what would you like to add to this?
Same. I am also team classic here because again, when we work, so now like since it's been a while that we have gone for shopping, most of us will have certain classics in our wardrobe which we'll be using for our day-to-day activities. And in near future also, I don't think a lot of us would want to go shopping immediately. So classics are there to stay forever. That's why they are called classics. And the same thing I think will be applicable in mask also. So people are going for a funky, trendy mask, or would you rather prefer a black or a white mask? So that is again, basic mask versus a trendy mask. So accordingly, like somebody who's in a corporate life, so they would prefer to go for a classic mask, maybe with a classic pattern on it, which could be a basic checks or a plaid or a stripe, or a plain color like a black. Younger people might want to go for trendy mask also. The only thing I would advise people is to work on their colors, know your colors, and wear your even your mask, because mask is like earlier we used to say top is closest to the face, so your top should go with your color scheme, personal colors. But now mask is on your face, so rather you should work on the colors that look good on you and wear your mask accordingly.
True.
So agree. So very agree with you. And like Rakhi mentioned, our shopping habits are going to change considerably. Because, even if you think in terms of going to the shop and shopping, trying it on, you don't know who's tried it before you. Right. So there's a lot of ifs and buts, whether how to shop. And even when it's online, I think no return policy would be coming in soon, because once you take a product or you buy a product, and if you return it, we don't know from where it's coming. So how do you even shop? It's such a huge question that poses all of us, together. So shopping habits will definitely change and will affect our overall presence. So what do you guys think? For me, it's like I don't know still yet whether online is the route to go or offline. But offline is a sure no, because I know that, again, social distancing norms meet kiya ki nahi, sanitization हुआ कि नहीं, we still don't know. और अगर वो सब भी हुआ तो फिर घर पे लाके वापस उसको sanitize करो, and all that is going to be part of whatever we do. It applies to everything, be it groceries, or be it anything that you get from outside. The same is going to apply to the clothes that we shop too. So any of you who would like to share what is going to be the shopping trend like, or how are you guys going to be shopping, or where do you see shopping now?
Okay, I'd love to tell you this. I personally have been thinking about this. And the way I look at it, it's only going to be customized and going to your personal designers and to them now. One thing. Second thing, no dry cleaning clothes anymore. Because, normally the clothes which are dry cleaned, you wear them more than once before, more than twice, before you get them dry cleaned. So now suddenly that thing goes out of the window, because the moment you reach home, you need to change, you need to shower, you need to put that stuff in hot water. So that is totally going to change. And I have been receiving a lot of mails and messages from the brand, the high street brands. And I've been wondering, where will I shop those clothes and go? I have been home for the last 2.5 months. Yes, I don't live in pajamas all day, but nevertheless, my husband has been laughing that you do all your online meetings in the same 4 sets of clothes. And I always tell him they're different people all the time. And any which way only this much is seen. I dress for my pleasure. So it's a totally different world out there. When China first opened up after its, major gap of 2-3 months, the Hermes store registered, one single Hermes store in Guangzhou in China registered $2.7 million worth of sales. And this new term they coined called revenge shopping, or, rebound consumerism, because people had been locked in and they suddenly had that opportunity to spend. But in a country like ours, that is a very small majority. So with most of the people now struggling to even pay school fees, I don't know how many people are actually going to go out there and shop. So I don't see any shopping trends. On a personal level, I would prefer going to my personal designers and picking up once in a way rather than, the way I used to shop earlier, because I'm not very comfortable going and picking up something off the rack anymore.
Right. I agree
Agreed,
with you,
agreed.
Rakhi.
Rashida, any tips that you have?
Yeah, so I agree with everything that Rakhi said. It's going to be very different now. People are not going to go out and shop easily as they used to before because of all the hygiene standards that need to be maintained. And I think the tailors are going to make a killing now because they had gone redundant, but now your darzi will, you will definitely buy a fabric and tell him, "Kya aap mujhe si ke de do," then obviously you can always wash it off. And the easy to wash and easy to dry clothes would be making a comeback rather than the ones that need dry cleaning or too much of care. So easy maintenance clothes would be, yes, of course, durability of the clothes will also matter. So I think we will be picking clothes which are more durable and which will last longer. But generally, I think now people are going to get minimalistic. That is the new trend that has come in now, minimalism. So we will be having wardrobes, smaller wardrobes and fewer clothes since we are not any which ways going out. We are online and we are doing our work online. So like she said, a few pairs of clothes which we sport every time we have a meeting. We can change our accessories and that's about it. And the men have a choice. They don't even need to do that. They just wear the same shirt every time. Nobody even notices. So they're actually blessed.
Neha, what would you like to add here?
Yeah, same. The minimalism capsule wardrobe, which was never a trend in India, is now picking up because we are working on those sets of clothes and wearing those for all our meetings and everything. When we talk about makeup, it is surprising, but we have always seen that makeup industry has gone into a really big boom after every letdown, be it the Great Depression or be it any pandemic. The first thing that picks up is makeup. So the only problem now will be that you won't be able to try products when you go shopping for makeup.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that could be a problem because for makeup, most of the things, like I have been suggesting people to always try your foundation and buy. You don't just buy because a salesperson has suggested you the color, because most of the time they get it wrong.
Right.
So until unless you have your shades with you, it could be a little difficult to work out on the if you want to try something new. I don't know how things will work out, but going by the previous trends, hoping for a big boom in the industry, because this is something that can give you a little up factor when you, after so much of being down, being down for so long. So just to lift you up, you require something, and makeup, I think, is the easiest to pick up. So hoping for a good hope the industry comes back to normal very soon, and this new normal, what we say, is short-lived.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree to all of you. You guys have really shared some great insights and great tips for our viewers. And I'm sure they have picked up quite a few of the tips and would start implementing them as soon as possible, because everyone is now looking to go back to their workplace sooner or later. It may be just days, that your companies are going to be starting to call you back again at work. We see that the buses have started and your private vehicles and your Ola and Ubers are all functioning. So definitely we are going to be re-entering our workplaces, and these tips are going to be so very useful. Thank you so much, all of you, for giving your valuable time, your valuable inputs for our viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful being here.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for having us, and we really enjoyed ourselves. I for one, really enjoyed myself. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr.